Mark Carney just insulted every Canadian from the age of 12 to 95. He says we're dumb and stupid.
I'm not a politician. I'm becoming a politician, but I'm not a politician.
He's right. He's not a politician. But he does want to be a liberal politician. He is a climate fear-mongering parasite of the worst kind.
And since Canada's current climate policy has become too divisive, it's time for a new, more effective climate plan that everyone can get behind.
His new climate plan is more sinister and crooked than the last one he created for Justin and his stooges. You know, it's the one that brought our country to its knees.
So here's how our new plan works. My government will immediately remove the consumer carbon tax.
It's just another Carney scam. He's lying like a dirty rug. Judge it for yourself. He's not removing any carbon tax. He's just passing it on to someone else to collect for him. Of course it will be free, a no-service charge.
But we won't stop there. Instead, what we'll do is create a system of incentives to reward Canadians for making greener choices. So it means that you'll no longer have to pay more to fuel your car or heat your home. But when you choose an energy-efficient appliance or an electric car or home insulation, you will be rewarded, and we will get the big polluters to pay for it.
What a maroon! What an ignoramus!
Color me stupid. Of course, why didn't we think of it? The big polluters will happily pay for it. Those heating oil companies, the trucking companies who bring you, well, everything. They'll pay for it just because he said so. And they'll do it without raising their prices.
What a maroon! What an ignoramus!
So how does it work? First, as I mentioned, to help Canadians invest in greener policies, we'll have the big polluters pay for climate incentives by developing and integrating a new consumer carbon credit market into the industrial pricing system.
Won't that be just wonderful? A consumer credit market. Simply amazing. Something like frequent shoppers points. I'm sure those big polluter companies won't mind paying our carbon taxes for us in exchange for points. Of course, they won't raise the price. I think we just saw the Liberal Mark Carney stupid bus arrive. Climb aboard and be taken for a ride.
One of the things that is innovative about what we're doing is we, in effect, will provide them with more options to reduce emissions because they will be able to pay for the emission reductions of Canadian households.
Great. He's not a politician. He'll provide these companies with more options to reduce emissions. Everyone needs options. They're delicious. Carney was right, he's not a politician. But he is a wizard of a magician. Who knew?
Speaking of household costs, I guess I just wonder, can you detail these carbon credits a bit more? You talk about greener choices being rewarded. What do you mean by that, and how will that differ from, say, the carbon tax rebate?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what we will roll out is, once in government, is the specific credit levels for EV purchases, appliance purchases, whether it's heat pump, home insulation. So households are looking at fixed level dollar levels of rebates that they will get for taking those steps. And I should add, maybe just for the avoidance of doubt, I didn't mention this, but the way the system works, it's large companies that are affected by the output-based pricing system, so small and medium-sized companies that have relatively low carbon footprints. This also affects them. The carbon tax comes off them as well. Then they get a choice, and we'll design the incentive system for them. They get a choice whether to reduce emissions and also benefit from these types of credits. So we'll show those specific amounts to households for the various actions, small businesses. And then we as a government will take the emission reductions, those credits, and we will let them be sold into the output-based pricing system market, which has a credit system. And that's how the large producers pay for it.
Wait, he said what? We get it, don't we?
Are we clear? Are we clear? Are we clear?
I work in a subset of ESG, so ESG, environmental, social, and governance. I work on the environment bit of it, and I work in a subset of the environment, which is the transition towards a low-carbon economy or net zero. After all, it is the law of the land. It literally is the law of the land in Canada that we transition towards net zero. Now, how we do that requires certain policies from government, and a number are being put in place. More will be required without question.
This great announcement deserves an award. Here you go, Mark. It's all yours. As for the rest of you, anyone, I mean anyone who votes for this guy as Canada's Prime Minister, is overdue for a full-scale. He's an insult to everyone 12 years old and older.